Welcome to Grapes and Debates, a podcast where we'll uncork some incredible wine and debate varietals of issues within the restaurant industry, one glass at a time. And now, your hosts and owners of SoNapa Grille.
Episode 62 of Grapes and Debates, filmed on location here at our Ormond Beach store.
During the shift.
Yeah. We got stuff going on.
People are looking at us through the glass.
Yeah,
like,
I know.
What is going on in there?
We're getting ready to do a wine dinner, and we are so excited because we got Jake
Lachowitzer.
I knew
You
it.
are
I
going to have
knew
to
it.
break those syllables down.
Yes.
That's a
Jake
hard one.
Lachowitzer. Who is amazing the fact that we have you here. We're getting ready to do a wine dinner. Banshee, you are the winemaker for Banshee.
Correct.
And we are excited to share your wines with everybody. We just returned from being in Napa and Sonoma and visited Banshee. I visited on 2 occasions, and it was awesome.
I'm glad to hear you made a second trip.
Yeah. Yeah. So my name's Adam Barringer, founder of SoNapa Grille. We have Jake Lachowitzer, winemaker, enologist. Yes, which we're going to talk
Started
about.
off as an enologist.
Enologist,
So,
right?
yes.
Yeah, to winemaker. And we have Emily Dunbar,
Hello. Director of Events and Marketing.
Director of Events and
Yes.
Marketing for SoNapa Grille.
Something like that.
Something like that. All right. So, we got to start with Jake. North Dakota, Fargo, North Dakota,
Yes.
to Sonoma. And what would inspire you to be a winemaker growing up on the plains of Fargo, North Dakota?
So, long story short, North Dakota, we grow a lot of crops that aren't grapes.
Right?
So I always found corn, potatoes, soybeans to be boring. They're everywhere.
Right?
But then, grad school, I figured out, we grow grapes. Why don't I do this?
Yeah.
So, I got really interested in it right before I went to grad school. And then, during grad school, I got to work with the North Dakota State grape breeding program.
Okay.
So, they have a massive program with tens of thousands of unnamed varietals.
Sure.
That essentially they're trying to figure out cold hardiness for their area.
Okay.
I got involved
So
with
your
that
passage
project.
into it was through agriculture.
Correct.
Not so much a love of wine.
Bit of both.
Bit of both.
Bit of
Okay,
both.
okay.
So then, in college, I actually sold wine at a liquor store. So
There you go.
that was my introduction to getting to taste and try everything. I also did a trip to Argentina with the university and fell in love with the vineyards there. Malbec. So that was really my push through the door.
We're in Argentina.
Mendoza, Buenos Aires.
Okay.
But it very much was like, okay, this is what you want to do. How do we actually execute this?
That's
now?
so cool. That's so cool.
I don't think anybody's got like a direct path to winemaking. Everybody seems to have a different.
Yeah.
Unless you're
story.
kind of born in Alexander Valley,
Yes.
you go to Alexander
There's a
Valley,
few.
elementary school, and next thing you know, you're
Definitely, I would say, there's your family generational
Correct, yes.
turnovers, but
Well, that's a cool story.
Yeah.
That's a really cool story. Now that we know a little bit about you, let's talk about Banshee. I mean, what the heck is a Banshee? I got it
Yeah.
right here.
The cockatrice,
label.
yes.
Look at that.
So, Banshee was founded in San Francisco in the Dogpatch neighborhood. 2009, I believe, was the year. The name actually comes, they were trying to think of a brand name.
Mm-hmm.
The story is a neighbor's dog was barking nonstop, and somebody said, this dog sounds like a banshee. Can somebody get it to shut up?
Right.
And then somebody heard the name Banshee, and they went, that's it. That's
Really?
the name.
Okay, so I heard a little different story. I heard it wasn't a dog. I heard it was the dude's girlfriend.
I was just saying, I was never told that one, but
Hey, we can make whatever. We can make that stuff up. All right.
So
It would have a different
and then,
name.
Yeah.
The logo, the cockatrice, was actually an item that they had found, I don't know, at an estate sale or something, and it was actually sitting on the coffee table or the fireplace mantle.
So this really was
It's
just kind of
perfect
like
timing.
this.
Yeah.
Kind of like
Perfect
this, just
timing.
made up.
Yeah. So and then from there, it started off with several barrels of coveted Sonoma Coast Pinot. That was really the flagship going forward.
Okay.
And they wanted to make high quality wine at a price point anybody could afford.
Awesome. And I think that, first of all, we've supported the brand probably for about, I don't know, since about 2000, maybe 11?
Okay, yep.
No,
We've had Mordecai for a
no,
long
2014.
time. Yeah.
2014, we've supported the brand. But it's been a while, and it's really because of Kim Braddock.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, our-
Small world.
Yes, yes.
KD.
Yeah.
No, but I do have to give a shout out to Rob Reynolds in New Smyrna, because as long as I've worked for this company, I started as a bartender. He's been drinking Banshee Mordecai.
Oh, fantastic.
The entire time.
And Sean Connors, our executive
Yes.
chef, it's his favorite wine.
Yes.
Is the Banshee Mordecai.
Love to hear that.
Yeah.
And it's an amazing, amazing bottle
Yeah,
of wine.
and I think for the price point, it's fantastic.
Yeah, it's hard to beat. I mean, they're very competitive prices, and the quality of wine is,
Sure.
it's up there.
Okay, so now you were the enologist for Chalk Hill, and now you're the winemaker for Banshee. So what is the specific? I know it's some overlapping duties, but what exactly?
All right. I'm not too proud to say I Googled it.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, what in the world is that?
It's so enologist. My definition of an enologist, so they're going to be more lab centric, very very much tied to the wine chemistry
Okay.
and how that changes throughout the life of a wine.
And
Okay.
your last name could be Chat GPT with
Yeah.
that answer. Jake Chat GPT.
So yeah, I started off as the enologist there at Chalk Hill. Ran the lab for a couple of years. Worked very closely with their winemaker Daryl Holbrook, and eventually moved into the assistant winemaking role.
Okay, awesome.
And then yeah, from there pivoted to Banshee. So yeah,
Very nice.
enology is it's a fairly broad term. I think people apply it differently. My definition, like I said, yeah, you're going to be very lab centric. Focus on that chemistry. You're kind of the bridge between the cellar and the winemaker.
Okay.
So cellar is going to bring you samples. You're going to run them, and you're going to talk to the winemaker and say, "Hey, this is where the numbers are. What do you want to do?"
Okay.
So yeah.
So what are you typically looking for in those tests? Just curious.
It depends on the time of the year. So during harvest, it's what we would call juice panels. You're going to be basic like sugar levels, your pH and titratable acidity levels. Just really trying to figure out where those are. Those are three things you're going to watch throughout ripening to determine pick timing.
Sure.
Sugar level would be called
Are you looking at me?
bricks.
Bricks.
Yeah. Okay, that was it.
It is. Yeah, it's definitely bricks. At least in the U.S.
Yeah.
Other countries are going to use other metrics or units, but yeah. So outside of harvest, we test for a lot of things. Your basic wine chemistry is going to be alcohol, sugar content. Did it go through malolactic? So we'll check that. Residual sugar. We're going to look at pH and TA, and then we look at everything with Foley.
Okay.
So a little bit of
Nice.
everything.
All right, so we always have wine, and now that we've gotten to know you a little bit about Banshee, what do we have in our glass?
Currently, the Sauv Blanc, 2023, Sonoma County.
Okay.
So yeah, the scored really well. Really refreshing wine, easy drinking, crisp, a lot of tropical notes.
Yeah, it's lovely. It's
This
so
is-
light.
So easy drinking.
It's a good summer wine. It's hot days. It goes well with food. Good
Okay.
on its own. Really nice balance with the acid there. The goal with that wine was always, let the fruit shine, but keep that acid in balance.
Okay.
The other thing, it's very much a California style Sauv Blanc. Getting away from kind of the grassy or the petrol notes you're going to find
Yeah.
from Sauv Blanc or
Yeah.
from New Zealand. Very like tropical, mango, papaya, melon, pineapple.
Yeah, it really is.
Kim,
It's delicious.
this is good stuff.
You get some of those tropical melon kind of notes on the finish that just like dance.
That's really nice.
Yeah, it's a really great wine for.
So when you say you're sourcing the grapes from Sonoma County, that means 85% of the grapes come from somewhere in Sonoma County.
Correct, yeah.
Is it all fruit that's grown by Foley Family properties, or do you source?
Yes, the Sauv Blanc is all sourced from estate vineyards,
Okay.
all managed by Foley Family Farms, our sister company.
Sure.
Who, we work, hand in hand with.
Okay.
So
Awesome.
yeah.
It's beautiful. It's drinking nice.
I'll scoot you over.
Oh,
A little Pinot.
The flagship
The flagship.
that started the brand, the Pinot.
Yes.
Perfect.
Sure.
Yeah.
Why don't you talk about that?
So Sonoma County Pinot Noir, flagship for the brand. We're known for our Russian River and Sonoma Coast Pinots. This is a really fun Pinot Noir to make. Very approachable, but it showcases the region really, really well.
Yeah.
So a little more structured for Pinot. It's got a nice base to it, which you're going to find in Russian River Pinots normally. And just a lot of fruit pop on the entry there. Some nice barrel spice and just a touch of smoke on the undertones.
Okay.
It's my wine for Tuesday night,
Yeah.
Thanksgiving dinner, whatever you really want
Are
to do.
any
with
of
it.
these wines that you have made, or are those going to be future vintages?
So future vintages on most of these.
Okay.
A good chunk of these I had my hand in, but I can't take credit for it.
Okay.
So.
Well, yeah, that's okay. You can put your.
Yeah.
That's good.
We'll have you back when you can
yes,
take credit.
exactly.
This
the
is
24s
mine.
and the 23 reds. Those
Okay.
are kind of what I can put my name on. So.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome.
I'm not.
So,
Listen, I say it every single time I'm on the podcast. We do a wine tasting. I respect a good Pinot. It's my least favorite, but this is really good. And we had this on our menu for quite some time.
I really like it. I think for me, it's a good entry level Pinot. For the price point, you're getting a lot of bang for your buck.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a classic Pinot Noir showcasing Sonoma County and what that region really has to offer for fruit. But it's also not going to, it's not a $150 bottle.
Right.
So, and it's not meant to be. It's meant to be that entry level Pinot. So yeah, I'm really, really happy with it.
Okay, so from a winemaker's perspective, it's grapes. We know what we have in our glasses now, and it's grapes and debates. And something to debate would
I
be Napa
question.
versus Sonoma. Which area is better
Yes.
for a winemaker to shine?
right.
Ooh.
Yeah. It's.
Okay, so it's a little bit
We're
different.
not just saying Napa versus Sonoma.
Right.
Where
That's
can
tough.
Where can you?
Well,
really
because
shine?
I was out in Sonoma for a month, and I spent a lot of time with some winemakers in Sonoma.
Yep.
And they certainly had their take on that. And then, of course, when you're in Napa, you have some of the most esteemed winemakers.
Yes.
So I just
I think it depends because when I think Napa, I think Cabernet.
correct.
And if you want to make a name for yourself, Napa Cab, you have that opportunity. It's
Right.
a good foothold.
Right.
But that being said, Pinot Noir, I don't think Napa. I think Russian River.
Okay.
So I think it depends on the brand.
Chardonnay.
Chardonnay, I'm gonna go Russian River. Sonoma side.
Sonoma Coast?
So it's Sonoma Coast, yeah. Pinot and Chard.
Okay.
I guess for me, I think it's more brand or varietal based. As a Pinot Noir and Chardonnay winemaker, I make a little bit of Cabernet, but it's all Sonoma County. It's not Napa County. So it's gonna be a different style, different take on what that grape has to offer.
Gotcha.
But yeah, I'm not. It's really tough. I think part of the reason Napa's so esteemed is it's the Las Vegas Strip of wine country.
The prestige.
Yeah, everybody's got the big entrance and the
Yeah.
big,
Yeah.
the bottle price to support
Okay.
it. Whereas you look at Sonoma and, started off, both of them started off, family farms. You still have a lot of family-owned farms in Sonoma County. I think you have a lot more involvement still. You have a lot of these family farms still being involved with the thing.
Yeah.
And that's, Foley Family Wines, seeing our owners still involved with the brands and the company.
Yeah.
I think that speaks volumes as well.
It is special.
You don't find that a whole lot in Napa. So
So you're Team Sonoma.
Well,
I'm very biased towards Sonoma.
okay. Well,
tough
we
one.
did spend,
There's no
it's
wrong
kind of
answer.
interesting where you said the Las Vegas Strip of winemaking. Take it a step further, we were on Pritchard Hill. And they
Yes.
were saying that's the Rodeo Drive of
Exactly.
winemaking.
Yes. So I think, it's not to, take anything away from Napa. There's phenomenal wines coming out of there, phenomenal winemakers there. But I do think, they have a leg up already on the marketing on the international scale.
Yeah.
People buy Napa, Napa Valley wine for the name.
This
of
is
Napa Valley.
this is what ChatGPT spit out. Yes, that's the argument for. That's the debate for Napa.
Yeah.
But then the debate really for Sonoma would be the varietals and the
Absolutely.
microclimates, the difference.
Yes.
Because you have, how big is Alexander Valley?
Oh, it's pretty big.
actually,
I couldn't tell you automatically.
I kind of know. It's 22 miles in length, I believe,
Okay,
and then
He
it
likes
could
to
go
ask
up.
things.
No, because I googled this. Yeah, I mean, Alexander Valley seems so big.
Yeah.
We went to Pine Mountain, Cloverdale.
Yep, I used to live there.
And so all the way up is Alexander Valley, and there are some great cabs being made in Alexander Valley.
Absolutely.
Roth being one of them.
Yep.
Obviously, Silver Oak is coming out of Alexander Valley. We had the Calling. I mean, just some really good Valley fruit.
Definitely. I think, one of 22 microclimates you're going to find in Sonoma. More
Yeah.
than that, but 22 AVAs, I believe.
Yeah.
I think Sonoma, there's more diversity, and with all that microclimate change, there's more opportunity to make great wines. I don't want to say Napa is pigeonholed to Cabernet, but
But it might be what
Cab
they
might
do the
be.
best.
Okay, so the
Just
next thing
saying.
is Cab Franc.
Oh.
I saw a lot of Cab Franc
Yeah.
this time, more so than I've ever seen.
Yep.
I think that varietal is gaining some traction.
Okay.
Yeah.
People who are very, very used to your large, masculine Cabernets, now they're looking at Cab Franc going, oh, this is, the little brother to that.
Yeah.
Right.
So, I think we're going to see more Cab Franc shine in the next couple of vintages.
Nice.
Awesome.
All right. I've got some questions.
Okay, you fire. You fire with a couple of your questions. I got some good questions.
I got some questions. And you just get to say the first
Yeah.
thing that comes to mind.
First thing that comes to mind.
And we will not delete anything, so
no,
be careful what you say.
there's no deleting. I don't know how to edit. I don't edit shit. In fact,
All right.
I'm going to my go-to. I'm skipping up ahead
Yeah.
to the cab.
Yeah. We got to
All
open
right.
that Mordecai, too. All right. Most misunderstood varietal.
Viognier.
Ooh.
Blending grape.
Okay.
Most
Well, maybe that's-
understood blending grape?
No,
or-
I said you said most
Misunderstood.
understood. I said Viognier is a blending grape mostly.
Wait, most understood or most
Misunderstood.
Misunderstood?
I'm
Viognier.
speaking in this like it's
Viognier.
amplified.
Right, and I just said it's
Yeah,
mostly used
it's-
for blending.
It is, and that's
See,
that's
maybe
tragic.
that's the misunderstanding of it.
All right.
It's a
Interesting.
phenomenal varietal.
Okay.
Okay.
What's the most overrated wine trend right now?
Oh, that's tough.
Um,
A wine in a can?
Okay.
okay. How about the frozen jalapenos in Sauv Blanc that everybody's trying right now?
I-
Like, what is that?
I have very briefly heard about the trend.
No, I've never even heard. I don't know. It's
Not something that's really come across my radar.
It
I
just
w-
came across mine today, and I'm like, what in the
That's
world?
different.
All right.
Frozen
Your desert island wine.
Desert Island. It might be Banshee Sauv Blanc.
yeah.
Run to the island.
Desert Island.
After we just drank through those, I would take that. Yeah.
The whole case.
It would have to be a white or a rosé,
Yeah.
and I want some acid in it.
All right.
Okay.
It's a random Tuesday night. You're going to go hang out with a bunch of friends, and they said, Jake, bring a couple bottles of wine. What are you going to bring?
Do they work in the wine industry or not?
It-
Because if they do, it's gonna vary.
oh,
I
tell
would
us.
my go-tos. I like Chalk Hill. I'm a little biased having been positioned there, but I think between the wines they have to offer, there's always something you can bring.
Such
Okay.
good wine, yeah. Winemaking tool you can't live without.
Spreadsheets, Excel.
Love it. Love it. Yeah, you know what?
all right. So
You're not wrong.
after spending a considerable amount of time out in Napa and Sonoma, and I got to know the winemaker for Rodney Strong. Had been the winemaker since 1978, Rick Sayer, and he had his mentor was Andrei Chelashev.
Okay. Yep.
And I know that he had an influence on a lot of people. So who was a big influence to you with winemaking?
So, coming from the Midwest, my first time out in Napa and Sonoma was 2016, and I fell in love with Heights Winery. And so the ongoing joke when we went home was, we want to be the Joe Heights of North Dakota. Just knowing that story and how he helped put Napa Valley on the map, that was what we wanted to do for the Midwest. Now, I had a great mentor in North Dakota working at that winery there, gave me a solid foundation to move out to California. Since I've been in California, I've worked with several really great winemakers. To name a few, Kara Morrison at Sonoma County. She really got my foot in the door to get out here. Taught me how to make great Chardonnay. Jen Higgins at Lambert Bridge is another fantastic winemaker. Showed me how to make high quality Bordeaux Reds.
Okay.
And then Daryl Holbrook at Chalk Hill. I'm going to work with him for the man, the myth, the legend.
Yeah.
He's been there. This will be his 31st harvest at Chalk Hill coming up.
Wow.
So, wealth of knowledge and a great reference.
Okay.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I've got one more question. Was it a culture shock to go from Fargo, North Dakota, to Sonoma County?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Okay.
Better food. And there's no snow.
Yeah.
So I can't complain about those two things.
Better weather, better food.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, and then phenomenal wine, too.
Yeah.
I can't disagree with that.
No, that's
definitely a culture shock. A lot more people, too. Sonoma County's got more people than the whole state of North Dakota.
Wow.
So, but we really found a home out here, though. Or there.
Good.
Guess we're in Florida now.
Good.
No, you're in Florida now. Yeah.
So, California became home, 7 years ago, and it's...
Good.
So, and then kind of we'll wrap this all up. One of the biggest themes that I heard talking to winemakers, talking to owners of vineyards while we were out there, it seems to be a big concern that as the baby boomers are aging out of drinking wine as heavily as they have in the past, and you got kind of the new generation coming up, and there's so many other options. You've got no alcohol, you've got cannabis infused drinks, you got cannabis, you've got seltzers, and what are you seeing out there from a winemaker's perspective?
I think it depends. I'm a younger winemaker. I have friends who drink wine, and I have friends who don't drink wine.
Yeah.
I think the big thing to bring that demographic to the table is you have to make wine affordable, and you have to make it high quality.
I think
you're
Banshee
doing both of that.
I
does
agreed.
that.
Absolutely.
I think I'm a good fit for the brand for those reasons. I think the younger generations, the no alcohol component, or there's a lot of individuals looking for less additives, or
Yep. More conscious.
purist. Yeah. But I think across the board, just give it time. Every generation is showing that wine is there.
Yeah, it goes
it's just
up and down. It does.
Sure. And the industry is resilient, and winemakers are resilient, and owners are resilient.
Absolutely.
Awesome. Well, we are excited to have you here. We're excited about the dinner tonight.
Yeah.
I want to thank you for being on the podcast.
Of course.
This is a wrap for episode 62.
Cheers. Thank you.
Dear listeners, Adam Barringer here, your host of Grapes and Debates and self-proclaimed wine taster. It's a tough job, but someone's got to do it. On behalf of all of us at SoNapa Grille, I want to personally thank you for your continued support of both the restaurant and the podcast. It's because of you that we get to bring incredible guests like Jake Lachowitzer, winemaker for Banshee Wines, to our communities. In honor of Jake joining us, we're offering our members a special treat. On Member Monday, June 16, mention code word Lachowitzer and enjoy a complimentary glass of Banshee Mordecai or Banshee Cabernet. Hope to see you then.